Good afternoon. I'm going to give a more description of the homemade DIY vertical planter that I made, that I've jokingly called the brown stock. Here it is next to a 5-tier green stock, and you can see that they are fairly close in height. Just a quick tour. This is the base. It is connected to a 4x4. Has a 8-inch bolt that runs from the base up into the 6x6, and then has a couple of metal brackets that keep it in place as well. It's quite secure. Then it's made up of two 10-gallon strawberry bags. And I bought all of these bags from a company called 24/7. They have really good prices, and their service was really fast. They got them to me right away. And I've added these 1-gallon bags, and then there are 2-gallon bags that are on the next level. Then there are 2 1-gallon bags that I have some flowers in, and then the top layer, which maybe is higher up than it needs to be, is 1-gallon bags. And that is, if you look at it from the other side, it's pretty much the same thing. The 1-gallon bag, then the 2 gallons, 1 gallon, and then the ring of 4 gallons at the top of the 4x4. So with the base is from Harbor Freight. They have a number of different furniture movers that they sell. This is the most expensive one, which is really not saying much. It's about $30. It's a wood platform, and then it's got these 2-inch wheels that are on steel. They're really solid, and I think for the money, it all comes put together. You get a lot for your money. Then what I did is I took a pressure treated 2x6, and I put that all the way across in the middle so that it would be an extra layer of support and keep that 6x6 or that 4x4, I'm sorry, in place. And then at the base, I think you can probably see there are some steel structural brackets that are screwed in place that help add to the stiffness of the 4x4. And then there's, up through the middle, there's a very large galvanized steel bolt that goes up through the middle. And that has been really good for keeping it stiff, and I haven't had any issues at all. There probably is not really that much weight on it when you get right down to it. I have used the same soil mixture that I use. I said soil mixture, but I really mean container mix that I use for my green stalks. It's primarily rice hulls, peat moss, and compost. It has some pumice, and it has a chicken manure based fertilizer that I mix into it, and it works quite well. And so these bottom bags, they are 10 gallons a piece. So at the base, which is the greatest volume of container mix, you have 20 gallons, and that's by far the most significant amount of weight that's on this surface. putting this together late in the season, I've had the luxury of finding some really inexpensive plants. I found some closeout strawberries. There's 4 of them that I planted. Those are the 4 I found at the Home Depot Garden Center, and they were 50 cents a piece, which is a killer deal. I've got some beans. These are bush beans. They're bush beans that I had. I had the seeds for them just in my big box of seeds that my neighbor gave me. Gave me the box, not the seeds themselves. Then I've got some dwarf tomatoes. These are super dwarfs. I got them half price at from Wilco Farm Stores, which is they have some really good edible stuff, really good deals. Some of their other stuff seems a little spendy, but they're real good deals on that stuff. There's some more beans growing on this level. You can see this was starting to dry out a little bit, so I put some wood pellets on top, and they've come apart and they've formed a mulch on top, which is a little trick I like to do. Then these new 1 gallons on this level, I planted a mouse ear hosta, and I've put some yerba buena start, which is a native Pacific Northwest native mint, which smells amazing. I love it. On this side, there's a different dwarf tomato, and there are some kale plants that I planted from seed that are growing in there. On the 2-gallon level, I've got some pepper plants. This one has tomatoes. On the other side, another pepper plant and a little ground cover that I found. More onions, and you can see actually in here, I'll point to it, these are the occasional start I get from the rice hulls. It doesn't bother me. They're super easy to pull out, and as inexpensive as rice hulls are and as effective as they are, it's easy to handle. Then the next level, I found some plants at a hardware store that's nearby called Park Rose Hardware, and they were selling these flowers for 50 cents a piece, and I split that same ground cover up, and it's up in there. And then on the top layer, which these are 1 gallons, again, I've used some wood pellets to create a mulch layer because they do dry out fairly quickly. And I've got some squash plants, and these are, I think I paid maybe 25 cents a piece for these. They were trying to get rid of them because they were kind of beaten up, but you can see they have some pretty decent growth on them. And once these get longer, I'm hoping to be able to kind of guide them around the top. Same thing with this one. And then this is a sage, and I think this was like 25 cents. Putting in vegetables this time of year is a great deal because all of the stores are trying to close this stuff out because people they're not buying vegetables anymore. And so that is your intro. Actually, you can see I dropped some kale seeds on the ground, or on the top of the mover, and they've sprouted in the little bit of container mix that's sitting on the edge there, which is funny. Life finds a way. And so that is the brown stock, which has not been brown at all. It's been nice and green, and I've decorated it. And my mother-in-law had given me a bunch of funky like fabrics and stuff, and so I added this little strip of, it's like an Indian fabric she found somewhere in in a fabric store, and so I just added it because I like decorating stuff in a way that's interesting. And just to give you an idea, I have another one of those on the other side of my peace patio over here. This is a trunk, and I'll do something more detailed at some point on this trunk. It's filled with xeric plants, and I had another little strip of this. It's a different fabric, but I think it looks very comparable to the one I just added. And as long as I'm over here, these are my red, white, and blue green stalks. So thanks for joining me for a discussion of my brown stock and container gardening.